Hi, readers,
Hi, readers.
and welcome to week 13, day 3 of Bible in a Year, the Live Project podcast. My name is Marlon.
My name is Althea, and we'll continue our readings from Joshua 12 through 15, the RSV version.
Don't forget, you can join us every Sunday at 6:30 p.m. Daylight Savings Time or Eastern Standard Time for a live discussion on what we have read this week. The details for that Zoom meeting are in the description below, or you can find them on our website at Biayl.Project.com. Again, that's Biayl.Project.com. So now let's dive in. Joshua chapter 12. Now these are the kings of the land whom the people of Israel defeated, and took possession of their land beyond the Jordan toward the sun rising, from the valley of the Arnon to Mount Hermon, with all the Arabah eastward. Sihon, king of the Amorites, who dwelt at Heshbon and ruled from Arior, which is on the edge of the valley of Arnon, and from the middle of the valley as far as the river Jabbok, the boundary of the Ammonites, that is, half of Gilead, and the Arabah to the sea of Chinneroth eastward, and in the direction of Beth Jeshimoth to the sea of the Arabah, the salt sea, southward to the foot of the slopes of Pisgah. And Og king of Bashan, one of the remnant of the Rephaim, who dwelt at Ashtaroth and at Edrei, and ruled over Mount Hermon, and Salake, and all Bashan to the boundary of the Geshurites and the Makahites, and over half of the Gilead to the boundary of Sihon, king of Heshbon. Moses, a servant of the Lord, and the people of Israel defeated them. And Moses, a servant of the Lord, gave their land for a possession to the Reubenites and the Gadites and the half tribe of Manasseh. And these are the kings of the land whom Joshua and the people of Israel defeated on the west side of the Jordan, from Baal Gad in the valley of Lebanon to Mount Halak that rises towards Seir. And Joshua gave their land to the tribes of Israel as a possession according to their allotments, in the hill country, in the lowland, in the Arabah, in the slopes, in the wilderness, and in the Negeb, the land of the Hittites, the Amorites, the Canaanites, the Perizzites, the Hivites, and the Jebusites. The king of Jericho, 1. The king of Ai, which is beside Bethel, 1. The king of Jerusalem, 1. The king of Hebron, 1. The king of Jarmuth, 1. The king of Lachish, 1. The king of Eglon, 1. The king of Gezer, 1. The king of Debir, 1. The king of Geder, 1. The king of Hormah, 1. The king of Arad, 1. The king of Libnah, 1. The king of Abdullam, 1. The king of Makkadah, 1. The king of Bethel, 1. The king of Tapua, 1. The king of Hefer, 1. The king of Aphek, 1. The king of Lasharon, 1. The king of Madon, 1. The king of Hazor, 1. The king of Shimron, Meron, 1. The king of Akshbaf, 1. The king of Tanakh, 1. The king of Megiddo, 1. The king of Kedesh, 1. The king of Jokneam in Carmel, 1. The king of Dor in Naphador, 1. The king of Goim in Galilee, 1. The king of Tirzah, 1. In all, 31 kings. Joshua 13. Now Joshua was old and advanced in years, and the Lord said to him, You are old and advanced in years, and there remains yet very much land to be possessed. This is a land that yet remains, all the regions of the Philistines and all those of the Geshurites, from the Shihor, which is east of Egypt, northward to the boundary of Ekron. It is reckoned as Canaanite. There are 5 rulers of the Philistines, those of Gaza, Ashdod, Ashkelon, Gath, and Ekron, and those of the Avim in the south, all the land of the Canaanites, and Mearah, which belongs to the Sidonians, to Aphek, to the boundary of the Amorites, and the land of the Gabalites, and all Lebanon, towards the sun rising from Baal-gad below Mount Hermon to the entrance of Hamath. All the inhabitants of the hill country from Lebanon to Misrephoth, Phaim, even all the Sidonians, I will myself drive them out from before the people of Israel. Only allot the land to Israel for an inheritance, as I have commanded you. Now therefore divide this land for an inheritance to the 9 tribes and half the tribe of Manasseh. With the other half of the tribe of Manasseh, the Reubenites and the Gadites received their inheritance, which Moses gave them, beyond the Jordan eastward, as Moses, the servant of the Lord, gave them, from Arior, which is on the edge of the valley of Arnon, and the city that is in the middle of the valley, and all the tableland of Medeba, as far as Dimon, and all the cities of Sihon, king of the Amorites, who reigned in Heshbon, as far as the boundary of the Ammonites, and Gilead, and the region of the Geshurites and Mahakathites, and all Mount Hermon, and all Bashan to Salake, and all the kingdom of Og in Bashan, who reigned in Ashtaroth and in Edrei. He alone was left of the remnant of the Rephaim. These Moses had defeated and driven out. Yet the people of Israel did not drive out the Geshurites or the Mahathites. But Geshur and Makath dwell in the midst of Israel to this day. To the tribe of Levi alone Moses gave no inheritance. The offerings by fire to the Lord God of Israel are their inheritance, as he said to them. And Moses gave an inheritance to the tribe of the Reubenites according to their families. So their territory was from Arior, which is on the edge of the valley of the Arnon, and the city that is in the middle of the valley, and all the tableland of Medeba, with Heshbon and all its cities that are in the tableland, Dibon and Bamoth Baal and Beth Baal Meon, and Jahaz and Kedemoth and Mephthahath, and Kirithiam and Sibma and Zereth Shahar on the hill of the valley, and Beth Peor and the slopes of Pisgah, and Beth Jeshimoth, that is, all the cities of the tableland, and all the kingdom of Sihon, king of the Amorites, who reigned in Heshbon, whom Moses defeated with the leaders of Midian, Evi and Rechem and Zur and Hor, and Reba, the princes of Sihon, who dwelt in the land. Balaam also, the son of Beor, the soothsayer, the people of Israel killed with the sword among the rest of their slain. And the border of the people of Ribbon was the Jordan as a boundary. This was the inheritance of the Reubenites, according to their families with their cities and villages. And Moses gave an inheritance also to the tribe of the Gadites, according to their families. Their territory was Jazer, and all the cities of Gilead, and half the land of the Ammonites to Aurora, which is east of Rabbah, and from Heshbon to Ramoth Mizpeh, and Betonim, and from Mahanaim to the territory of Debir, and in the valley of Beth Haram, Beth Nimrah, Succoth, and Zaphon. The rest of the kingdom of Sihon, king of Heshbon, having the Jordan as a boundary to the lower end of the sea of Chinnereth, eastward beyond the Jordan. This is the inheritance of the Gadites according to their families, with their cities and villages. And Moses gave an inheritance to the half tribe of Manasseh. It was allotted to the half tribe of the Manassites according to their families. The region extended from Mahanaim through all Bashan, the whole kingdom of Og, king of Bashan, and all the towns of Jair, which are in Bashan, 60 cities, and half Gilead and Ashtaroth and Edrei, the cities of the kingdom of Og in Bashan. These were allotted to the people of Machar, the son of Manasseh, for half of the Macharites according to their families. These are the inheritances which Moses distributed in the plains of Moab, beyond the Jordan east of Jericho. But to the tribe of Levi, Moses gave no inheritance. The Lord God of Israel is their inheritance, as he said to them.
Joshua chapter 14. And these are the inheritance which the people of Israel received in the land of Canaan, which Eleazar the priest and Joshua the son of Nun, and the heads of the fathers' houses of the tribes of the people of Israel distributed to them. Their inheritance was by lot, as the Lord had commanded Moses for the 9½ tribes. For Moses had given an inheritance to the 2½ tribes beyond the Jordan, but to the Levites he gave no inheritance among them. For the people of Joseph were 2 tribes, Manasseh and Ephraim, and no portion was given to the Levites in the land, but only cities to dwell in with their pasture lands, for their cattle and their substance. The people of Israel did as the Lord commanded Moses. They allotted the land. Then the people of Judah came to Joshua at Gilgal, and Caleb the son of Jephunneh, the Kenizzite, said to him, "You know what the Lord said to Moses, the man of God in Kadesh Barnea, concerning you and me. I was 40 years old when Moses, the servant of the Lord, sent me from Kadesh Barnea to spy out the land, and I brought him word again as it was in my heart. But my brethren who went up with me made the heart of the people melt. Yet I wholly followed the Lord my God. And Moses swore on that day, saying, Surely the land on which your foot has trodden shall be an inheritance for you and your children forever, because you have wholly followed the Lord my God. And now, behold, the Lord has kept me alive, as he said, these 45 years since the time that the Lord spoke this word to Moses, while Israel walked in the wilderness, and now, lo, I am this day 85 years old. I'm still as strong to this day as I was in the day that Moses sent me. My strength now is as my strength was then, for war and for going and coming. So now give me this hill country of which the Lord spoke on that day, for you heard on that day how the Anakim were there, with great fortified cities. It may be that the Lord will be with me, and I shall drive them out as the Lord said. Then Joshua blessed him and gave him Hebron to Caleb, the son of Jephunneh, for an inheritance. So Hebron became the inheritance of Caleb, the son of Jephunneh, the Kenizzite, to this day, because he wholly followed the Lord, the God of Israel. Now the name of Hebron formerly was Kiriath Arba. This Arba was the greatest man among the Anakim, and the land had rest from war. Joshua chapter 15. The lot for the tribe of the people of Judah, according to their families, reached southward to the boundary of Edom, to the wilderness of Zin at the farthest south. And their south boundary ran from the end of the Salt Sea, from the bay that faces southward. It goes out southward of the accent of Akrabim, passes along to Zin, and goes up south of Kadesh Barnea, along by Hezron up to Adar, turns about to Karka, passes along to Asmon, goes out by the brook of Egypt, and comes to its end at the sea. This shall be your south boundary, and the east boundary is the Salt Sea to the mouth of the Jordan, and the boundary on the north side runs from the Bay of the Sea at the mouth of the Jordan. And the boundary goes up to Beth Hogla and passes along north of Beth Araba, and the boundary goes up to the stone of Bohan, the son of Reuben. And the boundary goes up to Debir from the valley of Acre, and so northward, turning toward Gilgal, which is opposite the accent of Adumim, which is on the south side of the valley, and the boundary passes along to the waters of En Shemesh and ends at En Rogel. Then the boundary goes up by the valley of the son of Hinnom at the southern shoulder of the Jebusite, that is Jerusalem. And the boundary goes up to the top of the mountain that lies over against the valley of Hinnom on the west, at the northern end of the valley of Rephaim. Then the boundary extends from the top of the mountain to the spring of the waters of Nephtoah, and from there to the cities of Mount Ephron. Then the boundary bends round to Bala, that is Kiriath Jearim, and the boundary circles west of Bala to Mount Seir, passes along to the northern shoulder of Mount Jearim, that is Chesalon, and goes down to Beth Shemesh and passes along by Timnah. The boundary goes out to the shoulder of the hill north of Ekron. Then the boundary bends round to Shikharon and passes along to Mount Balal and goes out to Jabneel. Then the boundary comes to an end at the sea. And the west boundary was a great sea with its coastline. This is the boundary round about the people of Judah according to their families. According to the commandment of the Lord to Joshua, he gave to Caleb the son of Jephunneh a portion among the people of Judah. Kiriath Arba, that is Hebron. Arba was the father of Anak, and Caleb drove out from there and 3 sons of Anak, Shishai and Ahiman and Talmi, the descendants of Anak. And he went up from there against the inhabitants of the Bear. Now the name of the Bear formerly was Kiriath Sepher. And Caleb said, whoever smites Kiriath Sepher and takes it, to him will I give Achsah, my daughter, as wife. And Othni, the son of Kenaz, the brother of Caleb, took it, and he gave him Achsah, his daughter, as wife. When she came to him, she urged him to ask her father for a field, and she alighted from her ass, and Caleb said to her, what do you wish? She said to him, give me a present, since you have set me in the land of the Negeb. Give me also springs of water. And Caleb gave her the upper springs and the lower springs. This is the inheritance of the tribe of the people of Judah, according to their families. The cities belonging to the tribe of the people of Judah in the extreme south toward the boundary of Edom were Kabzeel, Edar, Jagur, Kena, Dimona, Adada, Kadesh, Hazar, Ithnan, Ziph, Telem, Bealoth, Hazar, Hadattah, Keri, Oth, Hezron, that is Hazar, Amam, Shema, Molada, Hazar Gada, Heshmon, Beth Pelet, Hazar, Shual, Beer, Sheba, Eziothia, Bala, Im, Ezim, Eltalad, Chizel, Horma, Ziklag, Madmana, Sansana, Leboth, Shilhim, Ain, and Ramon, all in all 29 cities with their villages. And in the lowland, Ashtal, Zorah, Ashna, Zanoah, Enganim, Tapua, Enam, Jarmuth, Adulam, Soko, Azika, Sha'arim, Adithium, Jedarathium, 14 cities with their villages. Zenon, Hedashah, Migdal, Gad, Zelin, Mizpeh, Joktheel, Lachish, Bozkath, Eglon, Kaban, Laman, Chitlish, Gederoth, Beth Dagon, Nama, and Makeda, 16 cities with their villages. Libnah, Ether, Ashan, Iptah, Ashna, Nazib, Kilal, Achzib, and Marashah, 9 cities with their villages. Ekron with its towns and its villages, from Ekron to the sea, all that were by the side of Ashdod with their villages. Ashdod, its towns and its villages, Gaza, its towns and its villages, to the brook of Egypt and the great sea with its coastline. And in the hill country, Shomer, Jatir, Soko, Dana, Kiriath, Sanaa, that is the Bear, Anab, Eshtemo, Anim, Goshen, Holon, and Gilo, 11 cities with their villages. Arab, Duma, Eshan, Janim, Beth Tapua, Ethka, Humta, Kiriath Arba, that is Hebron, and Zior, 9 cities with their villages. Maon, Carmel, Ziph, Juttah, Jezreel, Jokdeam, Zanoah, Cain, Gibeah, and Timnah, 10 cities with their villages. Halhul, Beth-Zur, Gedor, Marath, Beth Anaph, and El-Tikon, 6 cities with their villages. Kiriath Baal, that is Kiriath Jearim, and Rabbah, 2 cities with their villages. In the wilderness, Beth Arabah, Medin, Sekaka, Nibshan, the city of salt, and En Gedi, 6 cities with their villages. But the Jebusites and the inhabitants of Jerusalem, the people of Judah, could not drive out. So the Jebusites dwell with the people of Judah at Jerusalem to this day.